Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Black Afterthoughts. I am Taylor.
I'm Marcus.
Okay, well,
What's up, DJ?
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started on the list of topics for this episode. The first one, we're going to talk about the late Chadwick Boseman, who we lost this past week. A very important figure in Black cinema. Yeah, that one kind of hurt. No, I'm not gonna say kinda. It hurt most definitely.
That one hit home for real.
Early 40s, passed away from colon cancer, which was crazy that no one really knew outside of his circle that he even had it. And it's crazy how it wasn't something that was ever leaked, something that was ever shared with anyone outside of his circle. And I seen this post that was talking about, the trust and the loyalty within your circle, with like them using that as an example. Like everybody he came in contact with that was major knew, but outside of that, didn't even know. But I will say this one hurt. Mark, you got something you want to say?
Yeah. First off, man, rest in peace. What Chadwick meant to me was an example of, what I'm saying, of hope, for my niece and nephew, for as far as close to home, that, what I'm saying, somebody is like, we are represented, what I'm saying, in an industry that basically shuns us as, what I'm saying, as people, let alone just, we're some of the most talented people on this planet. And for, an industry to kind of just shun us out is like baffling to me. But him just, displaying what he did, displaying his good energy, what I'm saying, on and off the screen was a joy to watch. And man, personally, I'll truly miss him.
Caleb, you got anything you want to add?
no, everything hit with him. It's really just a gut punch. Because of course, like all these sudden deaths, of course, the sudden you just don't really think about them until like they actually happen. So it caught me off guard, but nah, it hurt. But I guess it's life.
DJ?
Say one thing about it is one thing I really admired about him was his work ethic, and you can pretty much see that a lot with all the movies he did and the timelines that it happened. And that was one big thing that spoke to me and showed me, like, no matter what you're going through, if you got the motion to get up and do it, go ahead and handle your business. And that pretty much is something I have been bolded to do on my own as well. Instead of just sitting there like, I can't move, I can't do this, I can't do that. Like stated before, nobody knew what was actually going on with him until later when you saw the signs. And I ain't gonna fake it. When I saw the Blood 5, his last movie on Netflix, I looked and I was like, man, this is the smallest I ever seen this man. Like, something's really going on. But, I thought he just did it because he was trying to play a role. But as soon as I got the news and saw it, I said, man, it really shows you that not only is times of the essence, but, if you want to make things happen and make an impact, no matter what's going on with you, you can step up and do it. So that's kind of one thing that I'm going to miss a lot from him is just, if you want it, go for it. And even if you're hurting and it's stuff is that, it can benefit other people and other people are watching and thank you for your efforts, do it. So that's kind of one thing that I'm really going to miss about him, honestly.
I think that the biggest thing I would say as far as he goes is these very important roles that a lot of people were not even considered for. The Thurgood Marshalls, the Jackie Robinson, the James Brown, even the Black Panther role was a major role, and it was a lot of Black actors that were after that role. And it seems like when it comes to very important roles, we've seen him be that person. And it just says something to me about his spirit and the way, like everybody's saying, his work ethic, and how he carried himself. Not only was he an educated man, but he was a very passionate man. Um, and it's definitely going to be something that's very much missed. I know that a lot of people were talking about who could potentially play the next Black Panther role, just because Marvel's not done with that particular series, and that one is going to be kind of hard for me to see as a Marvel fan, who could potentially fill those shoes, because those are very big shoes to fill. I just watched Message from the King on Netflix. I haven't watched The Five Bloods yet. That's actually something I was gonna watch tonight. But Message from the King movie was actually really good. If you haven't seen it, I would say check it out. I kind of got inspired to rewatch all of his movies. I've seen it on Facebook, and it listed all the movies that he's acted in, and even the TV shows that he's been a part of, that a lot of people didn't even know that he was around for. So I would say check those out. If for nothing else, just his memory. But I also want to go ahead and go into the second topic, which is making light of someone else's demise or situation. When is it too far? Is even allowed? Marcus, you kind of introduced this one, so I'll let you kind of talk about it.
Yeah. I want to first start by apologizing to Meg Thee Stallion, especially for last week, because I kind of went in. Yeah, it was funny, but at the end of the day, it was a real situation. Like, a woman got shot, and we kind of, and me included, are kind of just, because it wasn't dire. Like, she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, she wasn't like, it wasn't life-threatening. And that's what a lot of people made it seem like. And then, since it was a real situation, I just kind of just asked the question, when is it like too far to talk about somebody else's demise? What is too far?
I feel like when it gets to the point where it's like not funny anymore to me, when it's like you're purposely going for the jugular with that person, and you have no regard for how they feel about things. I feel like that is when it's gone too far. Kind of like with that whole, I like to use the bully scenario. Like when you get the bully in school, and yeah, you get the laughing and the joking in the beginning, but at the end, it's like, now you're hurting me, or now you're being hurtful and hateful towards that person. Or like when you with the homies and y'all roasting each other, and then the one that's being roasted ain't laughing no more. Like, all right, I'm ready to fuck you up. That's when it's gone too far. And then in some cases, it's not like you being too sensitive. It's like, now you just doing too much.
Personally, with me on that topic and issue, I try to get away from that, mainly because how I was brought up, I was always told, hey, if you go into a situation knowing the effects was gonna come in, good or bad, and what somebody gonna say about you, make sure you're ready to handle that backlash. But from experience when talking to other people, I go away from it because, one, it showed me that not many people are ready to uphold and take the backlash because they're first to jump and say something, but they're not ready for that backlash behind it. So I kind of make sure I stay away from topics like that because I don't know how sensitive people are to these certain things. And especially with the whole thing with Meg Thee Stallion, I didn't get mad at the fact that people was all like, oh, bro, she was that. I got mad at Tory Lanez because, one, if the person walked away from you, you're adding to it now, pulling that trigger. It no longer goes from snitching to doing all that. You sat there with a conscious mind, drunk or not, said, I'm going to pull the trigger on a woman. So that goes beyond joking. Now, if you're doing that to harm somebody and they no longer a threat, it calls for ass whoopings. Now, when people was trying to make jokes about it, I sat here and said to myself, why ain't nobody coming at Tory Lanez? Why we going at Meg? Like, go for the person that actually pulled the shit. Because if you're pulling the gun out on somebody, that's some serious ass shit. And that's not nothing to play with. Because many people have died from accidental shootings and shit. Many. And I have seen how that works out on both ends when, random fact, 2010, when I was over in school at Northwest, I got a phone call that, you know, one of my homies shot one of the other people on accident and he died. So when shit like that pop up, I'm like, that's nothing to joke about. Why don't you go after the person that did it? Because at the end of the day, you can say anything you want to say about it, but that's a serious ass situation when somebody gets hurt. Now, honestly, where it comes to this, if you're not willing to take the backlash of any situation that you go into, and you know people know some shit, and you know people say some shit to you, just don't do it. Don't joke about it. Don't put yourself in that situation, because now you got people looking at you like, why did you put yourself there if you're not ready for somebody to talk about you?
Know that.
But that's how I kind of feel about that.
All right, DJ. Caleb?
I don't joke on people's demises. I really only joke about stuff that's either very lighthearted or stuff that you can change by any means. But again, that's very circumstantial. I just know me personally, I'm not joking on the person that I don't know because I don't have that relationship. That's disrespectful, period, in my eyes. To answer that question, long story short, but no, I only joke because I also see like laughter as therapy, so I can only say that like if I even do bring it like that, I'm only saying that like to joke, but it's never anything at you. So no, I don't joke about Demise by any means.
So how do you feel about people talking about Will and Jada's situation with August?
Joking about it, the joke is there in my eyes because there was no disrespect in it. Nobody's coming at Will talking about, you can't keep your house together, you can't keep your woman in check. That's not the joke. Because people use that in my eyes, I saw people using it as a reference to themselves. A joke is only funny if you can relate to it. And I feel like that's what the joke was. But it was never, I saw that as a reference. I never saw that as like, Will, you can't keep your household straight. I've never saw it like that, and it was never a dig by any means when I joked about it. But of course, that's only if, because of course how you receive it is something completely different. But no, I relate that to personally solely me if I joke about that reference.
Mm-hmm. How about you, T?
For me, I feel like because they made it lighthearted and they kind of addressed their situations with it, they mate it different. I'm just
bad marriage for life.
Right, because they were able to. They dealt with the situation already within their relationship. They've already had the conversations. They dealt with the emotions that come with it. They've done all of this. I'm trying to change this view, but it's not helping. And then when they finally brought it to when it was brought to the world, they were able to properly address it. And they honestly didn't have to say anything at all. They could have just left it what it was. I feel like because of who they are in their relationship and what that means to like relationship goals or the Black community or the length of their relationship and a lot of people the longevity. I feel like people still respect their relationship to a certain extent. Their relationship has been in songs and everything else, like documentaries, everything else. So I don't feel like it was something that couldn't have been joked about. Now, it could have went left. But there was some people saying some things about Will when he said there's nothing that she could ever make me leave her. And people are like, well, Will, he's a bitch. He's so sprung on her. He's so this, he's so that, and it could have went left. But when you hear him say, I literally told her, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm leaving your ass. You know, he literally told her that. You know, so I mean, he didn't have no ill feelings at that point. So it's just like I don't I don't feel like that's not something that could have been joked about, because if it was, it wouldn't have been as open and vulnerable.
Did anybody see what 50 did?
What did he do?
He
Like I've
DM'd,
seen it.
yeah, he DM'd Will about it.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
he ended up there, like, it was a back and forth conversation. He was like, "Fuck you, Will."
Yeah, like, he went in, like,
Yeah.
because 50 is petty like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think T.I. did some shit too, I guess, to Will, but I think Will got offended. I'm not too sure.
I seen 50 Cent's transaction, and I feel like he, because of who he is and the troll that he is, and the fact that he can't stay in his lane and mind his business, is why everybody comes for 50 Cent as much as possible, even though they know that the 9 times out of 10 are going to lose just because of how he is. But, you know, it's like I got to stand up for myself. Like, you really DM me on some bullshit. Yeah, the whole world knows the situation. Like, why are you still looking at an open wound at this point? Like, chill the fuck out. Like, do you have nothing else to do?
Yes, he does. He has absolutely a lot of things that he can do.
But 50 Cent just does like that to people on purpose to get a rise out of people. You know, and you can see in the beginning, if I remember right, you see in the beginning of the exchange where Will is kind of very dry and vague to where he really don't say too much.
Yep.
And then 50 Cent starts to be disrespectful, and that's where the fuck you 50 came in. That's that fine line between jokes and being disrespectful that a lot of people teeter-totter on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, you walk in that line of between disrespect and joking.
I like people who keep the same energy with everybody, which is why I respect 50 to the utmost.
Yeah. If he's gonna be petty, he's gonna be petty 100% of the time.
With all his business acclimates, everything that he has done, you know what I'm saying, in his life, he is still the same person. He has been petty since he was a kid. I remember hearing a story. This man used to train at a boxing gym and then bully kids and antagonize them just so he could try it out.
Oh, so 50's a bitch.
Yeah, he's not a bitch. It's just he's petty.
No, that's a bitch move.
How's that?
You go to a boxing gym to get professional training to go and bully kids to try out your moves. You're a bitch. You a whole bitch.
It's one way of looking at it.
So you go to the little guy that knows less.
I didn't say they were little. He just.
I'm just saying, like, you get. I mean, like, somebody that's not as trained or as, you know, good at fighting. Like, you know, like, pretty much you pick a fight, you know you can win. Like, bro, stop playing. You're a bitch.
In the hood, it's just like, well, in the hood, you don't know who can fight or not. Everybody
got shot 9 times. Stupid ass.
Everybody can say they fight in the hood. Everybody.
Oh, okay.
My thing is just like he's been this level of petty his entire life. And he's kept that same energy. I respect that one.
That's probably why his ass got shot 9 times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Karma's a motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up. If the bullets can't do it, I don't know what the hell else can do it. Shit, at this point.
I'm not saying this should have happened to him, but I understand why.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't wish that on nobody. But
Marcus, you added one more part to that topic. You already talked about that.
Is too far, or is the
yeah, excluding death.
No, as in excluding. I excluded it.
Right.
Yeah, we don't joke about that.
No, people do. Just like we see that TikTok video that's going around when they was somebody being ugly, and they be like, "Well, that's why your mama dead." You know, what kind of shoe she got on in her casket, like type shit. Like, we think that's funny, but that's not okay.
That's not funny.
No, that shit was golden.
That shit's foul.
It was a
Tell me
cartoon off of the. It was a cartoon off the Avatar.
I don't feel
Off
that.
the
It's
last.
been floating around TikTok. That's it.
That ain't funny.
Oh, here we go.
You shut up. That's why your shoes raggedy. That's why your mama dead. Dead as hell. What shoes she got on? What shoes she had on her casket? That's why your granny ain't got no knees and she can't pray to Jesus, bitch. How about
Now
that?
that's funny.
That's why your baby got a glass eye. And when she cry, you gotta cry with Windex, bitch. I'll get out your car. But oh my god.
She said
No.
that's what.
The
That's
grandmother.
That's awesome. When she
grandmother
cry, you gotta clean it with Windex.
The grandmother, everything after the mama dead, that was hilarious. That was golden.
That's why your granny ain't got no
has
knees.
no knees and she can't pray for Jesus.
Pray to
Hilarious.
Jesus, bitch.
That is hilarious. But what
That's too far.
mama have in the casket, that is way too far. We catching the fair one.
That's one thing that I came to the understanding with is like with comedy, it always comes with somebody else's expense. You cannot crack a joke and it not like the range on like what's sensitive, what's not with comedy in general. You cannot crack a joke that doesn't come at somebody else's expense.
True.
From like big jokes to like little jokes that like, oh, why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9, like, oh, like somebody got like literally as low as you want to go to like any joke. No joke comes without being at somebody else's expense. And that's why it's like it's very hard to answer like the demise thing, but it's just in general, it's like there's no way to gauge how sensitive somebody can be because it's always going to be at somebody else's expense. It's a hard game, man.
All right, I'll say this. As far as with death, it's just like that's not necessarily a joke. That's an actual fact. And I know there's truth that lie in most jokes. But never have I ever seen besides one, and then that person got canceled. I've never seen the punchline is that's why that person is dead. Now, the comedian Ari Shaffir, when he talked about Kobe Bryant, and he went in talking about, he was just like, well, something happened today. A rapist died in a helicopter crash. And everybody canceled his ass for that because that went over the line. Now, he said that he's always done this and that, and everybody has let it slide. It wasn't funny then, and it's not funny now.
Absolutely not. My
So,
thing is, he ain't even here to defend himself. Like
that's what I'm saying. And so, like, if you talk about somebody's raggedy shoes, the only thing that could, that could block that from being funny, it was just like if somebody came back with like, yeah, my mama and I are poor, some shit like that. And it's just like, well, man, it ain't funny no more. Once you start spitting out real facts when somebody's there, because you're talking about somebody, I can say my shirt is dingy as hell. I mean, it's like, it's right here in front of me. But it's just like, man, I ain't got no ironing board. And there's some stupid shit like that.
I feel like that I gotta disagree with that because it's like literally it's who, I'm not even gonna say who says it, but like who can actually take offense to it and like how it's delivered. Because for example, as soon as you said that, the first thing that came to my mind was Eddie Griffin Delirious, the ice cream joke, where it's like, oh, you can't afford it. And that's a funny ass joke, but it's like it's the same shit. So it's like to call it funny or call it night. Yeah. Like it's a very tough, like really it's just you have to take so much context into it before you start cracking on somebody.
Right.
But
all right, we can move on to the next topic for the evening. Could you marry somebody with bad credit?
How bad
are there any? Not even how bad's the credit. Are you trying to use my name on anything?
If you're married, this is an issue. Like,
Could you
you're
marry
using
someone
them
with
a
bad
lot of
credit?
stuff. Like, yes, your taxes change. Like, we talking bad. How bad is the credit?
Well, you put the topic.
We looking for general parameters here. That's what we doing.
I would say yes, I could technically marry someone with bad credit, but we need to be on some type of plan or some type of debt consolidation or something to where we can work to rebuild your credit.
So is that not happening before the marriage?
It should be.
And I feel like that's the thing where it's like, if you don't peep the signs that like your money habit, like if you can stay with somebody and you think that like your money habits are like that good when like their credit is shit and you still get into that marriage, you did it to yourself. You really did it to yourself.
I just feel like, in a way, we have a problem in our community where financial literacy is not discussed, where the importance of credit is not necessarily discussed. You know, in some means we've done things in survival modes. We may have signed up for a credit card just so we could eat, you know, or pay a bill, or we may have signed over a loan just to do some last minute emergency business. Like, you never know what the backstory is. Like, if you just out here being flagrant as fuck, then that's something completely different. But a lot of times people do that out of panic or out of need. And that they may have made those mistakes in the past, which has affected now. Because I can personally say that I've done some things while I was in college, being naive, pretty much doing things for survival, that has affected my credit now that I am working on getting rid of.
You can say that in general.
So
Fuck the credit.
like, everybody has a story as to how they get certain credit issues. So it's just like, are you going to judge them because they have bad credit? Or if there's somebody you decide that you want to marry and you love, are you going to help them?
So the thing with that is, you really can't dictate nobody's credit for real before going into that. Like, that should be a main thing that should be spoken on once you get to that serious level. Like, okay, we about to get married, so what's your credit looking like? And if they tell you it's kind of fucked, then all them times you spend years should not dictate, all right, I'm done with this motherfucker. Because one, if you knew this in the back of your mind, you should have made this a topic from the jump. So you won't have to worry about it when it gets time to this. Because now when it's getting time to this, you're pushing and shoving to get somebody to a point that you want to be at, or to a point they need to be at, but you didn't acknowledge it at first, like Caleb said, like you guys said in general. So I'm kind of like trying to understand the basis of it. Like, it should it be formed into a question like, will you still rock with them knowing this, or will you want to help this and make this known when it's made official? That's kind of how I'm viewing it.
I'll pose this question then. Do you have the patience to build somebody else's credit? Depending on
Of course, because right now in my situation, I've been building my credit still. It ain't where I wanted to be at, but it's a nice place. But the thing is, I'm not about to sit here and just say, oh no, I ain't about to rock this out with you because you ain't where you at. My thing is, are you doing what you gotta do to get where you at? Because I was patient on my end to know where I need to be at. You can't dictate your patience on somebody else. All you can do is offer them the tools. Now, if they choose to flat out not do shit, then that goes to the question, I ain't fucking with you no more. Because now you telling me.
So wait a minute. The question is, I ain't fucking with you.
I ain't fucking with you no more. Because you're saying, do I have the patience? Of course I don't have the patience, because I'm gonna need the patience to deal with your ass in the long haul for years later. But you're asking if I got the patience to help them out. I should have that patience. My patience leaves when you just say, fuck it, I ain't with it. When the tools are given to you. That's my patience leaves. My patience is going to stay there when you're making the effort.
I got you. My thing is, though, but not everybody is mentally where you are with that. Like, some people don't have the patience. Some people don't even have the patience to explain to them how they want to be treated in general, let alone build something that is a necessity. And to And to go off of what Taylor said, what Black people is not a topic of conversation with as far as building credit, and I think that it goes with the upbringing. It's like some of us, like especially my mom, we were always in survival mode. My mom's credit was bad. We couldn't she couldn't really teach me about something because she was learning herself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it was something that wasn't really, it wasn't put, like, it wasn't made aware to me until I had to look back on it. It's just like we was sleeping at other people's houses and before we could get our own, and it's like, man, I wonder why we're like this and how come we don't have our own, and it's because of the credit. My mom, she had identity theft. Like somebody stole her identity, filed bankruptcy. My mom had to bill. And you know what I'm saying? And that was tough, and I didn't really understand it. I was like, how the hell somebody steal your identity? It was like, you ain't nobody. My mama ain't nobody else but you. So I was just like, who's stealing shit? Like, yeah. So
who's stealing shit?
Yeah. So the patience thing that you expressed earlier, that should be made in the beginning, because if there's no patience with anything with that person, then you shouldn't be wanting this fantasy of thinking, all right, we got this moment right here, where you at? Because now it's a fantasy value behind it, because now you're setting up this expectation when you don't even got the patience to go for it. It's like, make sure that, you know, you're on the same playing field with your partner, and your partner needs to open up their mouths, and everybody got to speak. You got to speak. Because like you said before, if you don't speak, then you don't know how you're going to be treated. If you don't speak. So the whole thing is, I'm looking at it like the whole dynamic is speak. Don't be afraid to. Because if you ask for patience, then you got to know the person that you're dealing with. Speak. Everybody's not going to understand what you're coming from at first knowledge because of how you deliver it. Or if you can't express it to them because you're so wrapped up in emotion. So you got to understand, if a person is taking in what you're doing, then know the value behind it. And that word patience means a lot to me with this. Like, it's just, you know who you're dealing with. Honestly, at the end, know who you're dealing with. I'm not going to over-explain it. Just know who you're dealing with. So, yeah.
Okay.
With that, I feel as if the main thing that you can do is when you, like what DJ said, if you see it, speak on it. But that means if you see it, speak on it. You don't wait till you think about putting a ring on it to check somebody's bad behavior. You dated them for X amount of years. You check them during the dating process. And that's that. Now, it's not even a check because it might be a difference of opinion, and that goes with a lot of things. But credit is probably an accepted thing where it's like, get right or get left. And it's that point where it's like, I understand people are their own people, but it comes to a point where it's like, you played yourself. Either you had all this time to check somebody and now you want to wife it, or you have to marry somebody with shitty credit, and you played yourself both ways. And that alone, there's no way. You literally set yourself up for failure because you saw it way back when and you didn't say anything. So, I mean, to that, could I see myself marrying somebody with bad credit? No. But that's because you're supposed to take the steps before the fact. You don't marry somebody that you're not attracted to. And if you weren't attracted to somebody with wild spending habits and bad credit, you should have checked that off rip, and you probably would have never gotten to that point of marriage. But if you did, you played yourself. Both ways.
See,
like I said, I would have the patience to marry someone with bad credit, but also we would be developing some type of plan on how we're going to attack, your debt, because at the end of the day, you're my partner, you're my husband, and everything we do from this point forward, we do together. Is that going to affect some things for a while? Absolutely. Maybe certain things will have to be in my name until your credit is correct. But it will be what it is, because at the end of the day, what you do for y'all as an entity that's now one. I don't know. I just feel strongly about how I would want to know how this debt was even accumulated in the first place. Because, for example, some of us got student loans. That affects your credit. I got a car payment. Marcus got a car payment. That shit affects your credit.
House note.
You said what?
My car payment is a house note.
Good God.
Yeah.
You know you played yourself, right?
Mine's like 4 something a month.
Yeah. I mean, when you have like decent credit and you go with no money down on a brand new car.
Back to what Taylor was saying. Somebody should have schooled you before you made that move.
Right.
That's the thing, though. Nobody did. You're going in there blind, and it's just like you don't understand the First off, you don't understand the importance of credit until you actually need something.
You don't understand it, period.
You're getting denied for things, and you're just like, why am I constantly getting denied for, this apartment, even this cell phone plan, or little stuff. Like,
the funny thing is, it'd be like, I have the money, like right here. It's just like, we don't care if you have the money. You need credit. It's just like, but this is what it costs, and I can afford it. So why can't I have it? And it's just like, it doesn't work like that. And but nobody sits us down and tells us this. And then this is why this is like the best time for anything as far as just us, because of the knowledge. Like, we are in a position to teach the next generation generational wealth, good credit, you know what I'm saying? Financial budgeting, where we do not have to survive anymore. And the next generation of us don't have to survive. They can actually start living.
True. Now, going off that whole thing of we don't have nobody to teach it, that is absolutely true. But it comes to a point where you start asking and seeking, why is this happening then? Because I ain't gonna fake it. Growing up in the early 2000s throughout the 90s, what's the first song that came out? Big Time is number one stunner. And we saw everything. We saw cars. We saw bottles. We saw houses. And I said, I would like to have all that when I grow up. And all we saw was them rapping about it. And that was it. So it took, I ain't gonna fake it. It took the actual episode of MTV Crib for Redman to show me everything ain't what it is. He kept it real. So then when I saw that episode that was doing middle school, I said, let me dive into this. So more and more, my teachers were rappers and the things that they were saying. And Jay-Z was like, if I can't buy it twice, then I'm not about to put nothing on it. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I looked at my wallet. I said, I do that with a lot of things, even with miscellaneous spending. I'm like, if I can't do this 2 times in a row within the next 2 weeks, I'm cool on it. Then I start figuring out what I need to do to accumulate it. So it's not the fact that we don't have nobody to teach us. It's all in front of us. We just got to make sure we're paying attention. So now it's also a good thing to have people that know about it, but some instances people ain't gonna know about it. So now you can't just sit on your ass and say, I don't want it, I don't think I can't do it. Now you start paying attention and making sure that if you want it and you don't know about it, seek it. Because credit is a crazy ass thing, because I ain't gonna fake it. JCPenney was trying to get me to get them credit cards all day when we was up in college. I was like, I'm good. I'm cool. I don't need this that much. If I can't spend real money on it, if I can't give you my money, what the fuck is credit? I don't have credit in my pocket. What the fuck is credit? You're telling me I gotta owe you after I pay this? Fuck you and that credit. I'm gonna earn this myself. That's how I looked at it. Credit
I had a JCPenney credit card.
Hey, credit said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let you have this, but you gotta pay me back. Bitch, I don't want you to pay. I don't want to pay this back. No. If I can't pay it now, and you're telling me I got interest, fuck you in this credit. But then I start thinking to myself, okay, let me build up my credit. I still don't like credit. I can't pull that bitch out physically. So I'm going to make my credit well accumulated, but at the same time, I'm gonna stay my ass away from credit. Cause that's like a nagging ass motherfucker. You gotta pay us back. No, fuck you. I paid through my own money. I'm good on credit. But I understand it's something that be needed, but I'm gonna do my best and everything I can do to build up that credit. But I'm not gonna be touching that shit. I'm gonna try to make sure I have something that makes sure that I can spend it with real money and real assets. But credit is something we all need. But I just don't like credit. Point blank simple.
Clearly.
I understand it's needed.
I know somebody with 13 credit cards.
Exactly.
I do too. I know motherfuckers with credit cards my age with no limit.
I said, what is the point of 13 credit cards? And she straight up told me, she was just like, this is how I built my credit score. Her credit score is in the 800s. And I said, wait a minute. So you having just credit cards, are you not touching? She was just like, no. I got use like this miscellaneous stuff. I pay for like gas or stuff like that, and then just pay it off, and then that builds the credit. Yes,
yep.
And I'm like that.
Good debt.
It didn't make sense, but it's just like it works. And I said, damn, she has like a nice ass house in like Grain Valley.
Yeah, I heard a credit lender.
$500.
What?
Have you heard of credit lender?
No, what is credit lender?
I think that's the perfect word. That's something that my mom put me on. She said it's basically you're basically investing in yourself and showing that you can properly pay bills on time. So it's a record showing that you can pay credit. So you're basically investing all your money into this account. And once the year is over with, you get some of it back, but it's still showing that you understand basic credit and it helps build your credit. Like right now, I pay by what? $16, $20?
A month?
He's frozen. DJ, you're frozen.
Credit that Wi-Fi. Now, I'll say this. If you have bad credit, I understand.
I don't have bad credit, but it's definitely a work in progress.
I say my credit was good, and then it went down due to some medical visits, some hospital visits, and some purchases that I shouldn't have made when I didn't have it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and now I'm trying to get a house, so now I'm paying for it. So I'll say I have the patience to deal with somebody with bad credit, and I wouldn't mind, and I probably wouldn't marry him. If I know the person I'm marrying, then their credit shouldn't even be an issue.
Cause I sat and calculated my own. I only have in personal debt outside of my student loans and car. I only have $6,000 in personal debt.
That is great, cause that's better than most.
So
I don't even know how much.
I sat and calculated. Credit Karma works really well. I have it on my phone.
I had Credit Karma. I don't know what the hell I did. I think I got my new phone.
All right, maybe we'll go on to the next one. Are home cooked meals overrated? Caleb,
Depends
can
if
you
you can
home
cook.
cooked meals?
Can you cook?
Who?
No.
He's talking about general.
Can you cook in general? Can you cook?
Everybody, listen, let's put it like this. Everybody can cook.
Can they?
No, I'm saying in the sense of this question, to help you guys with an answer, everybody can cook.
But are home cooked meals overrated?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like. Oh, go ahead, Caleb. If you got something.
All right, I'll put it like this. You pull up to your grandma's house. Are home cooked meals overrated?
Hell no.
Next question then. If you come home from a long day, not even a long day, but if you want to have date night in these COVID times, and you come back to the house with a candlelight. Are home cooked meals overrated? Home cooked meals are not overrated. You better stop playing yourself.
I'm not
Especially
playing myself. I'm asking.
But
How
some
many?
people feel like they are, because it's just like they feel like no one has time to cook anymore. You know, it's easier and cheaper for a lot of people, a lot of families to eat out instead of cook at home and buy groceries.
Especially
Nobody has time. I don't believe you make time for what you want to do. Nobody has time to cook, but you spend how much time on your phone a day? Man, you got time. I don't want to hear that excuse.
There's been times I feel like I'm
how often are you
tired
cooking
and
out?
I don't want to cook anything.
Say it again.
How often are you cooking out?
Oh, Caleb cook all the time.
Bruh,
That'll change your life.
I don't know his life.
I'm just telling you, he'll make you a vegetarian. That'll change your life, Mark. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
dude, I cook like I'm still on a college budget. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
about this burrito though.
When I get some pesto, I'll let you know.
Pesto is underwhelming.
You said what?
Pesto is underwhelming.
That pesto he got is crack. I don't give a fuck.
No, pesto's good, but it's not as good as advertised.
Marcus. Again, I don't know what fucking pesto you done had or made, but the shit he get is crack. You can eat that shit by itself. And I don't even like pesto, but that shit is fire.
See, you don't like pesto, and then he finds a pesto. It's highly underwhelming.
Oh, okay. Same people say the same shit about avocados.
Let them sleep. Let them sleep. That's more for me. Just let them sleep.
Okay. Let me know when you make burritos, because I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be there.
Hey, Taylor, you can have his burrito.
I made pesto crescent rolls.
You said what?
I made pesto crescent rolls. Actually, I made spinach parmesan pesto crescent rolls. Underwhelming.
You had my curiosity, and now you have my attention. Continue.
Yeah. You know what made it hit slightly? The spinach. Me and pesto, listen. I like it. I've made pesto tortellini with chicken, all that shit. I don't really fuck with pesto.
Well, when you come to St. Louis, we will try to make sure you have this pesto.
Okay.
Because you're going to be asking for it to take home. Because I want some myself.
I doubt it.
I don't. Marcus, I don't rave about too many things, Marcus. I don't go against you and how you feel about things too often, Marcus.
You rave about Chick-fil-A chicken tenders. I don't want to hear that.
Chick-fil-A chicken tenders are good. They chicken sandwiches, you can miss me. They chicken nuggets, you can miss me. But they chicken tenders, I don't know what they do differently, but they do hit different.
Hey, what did Pusha T say? This homemade pesto will put you in the game. Anything else is just a goddamn shame. I'm telling you, man.
I guarantee you he was not talking about that shit that you put in your burrito.
Okay.
Marcus?
Homemade pesto.
Marcus?
Pusha T?
It's not too much I go against you on, big dog, but that pesto, I'm going to have to argue that one to the bank. That shit crack.
Okay.
That shit crack like your greens, fam.
Your collard greens are busting?
My collard greens.
He made them at my birthday party.
My cabbage. My green beans.
Oh, wait. That was your greens?
Yes.
It all makes sense now.
So that pesto crack like your greens, fam.
It all makes sense now.
Listen, when it comes to the greenery, I fucks with it. Pesto is not one of them.
So we're gonna have to change your mind, big dog. I'm telling you, once you hit that one, that's gonna make shit different. That's on me.
I'll put it like this.
DJ, the question was, is home cooked meals overrated?
Hell no. Home cooked meals come with a lot of things, especially if you like the chick. You see her make this meal for you with compassion and take the time to put them ingredients in. it's way more to that. Like, I want people to start understanding, like, if you cook for somebody, they actually fuck with you. It's a lot more than just standing in there and getting a meal. That's how I look at it.
Actually, my fault, DJ, for cutting you off. Actually, to add to the point, would you rather go to a barbecue spot or would you rather have DJ's barbecue? And then you tell me if you like home cooked or not.
I'm just saying,
I'm done
posed the
talking.
question.
I'm done with
posed the question.
He said what he said.
I'm done.
I posed the question comparing it to how many times that you often cooking at the house.
Oh,
You, as far as Caleb, cook often. And
It's
some
just me
people
most of the time.
don't. Now, some people appreciate home cooked meals, but don't make a lot of home cooked meals. Are we talking 7 days out of the week and you're cooking maybe 3?
mm-hmm.
3.
Hey, sometimes people ain't got the time. Ain't gonna think.
That's the appreciation aspect. You don't appreciate something till it's gone. Nobody cared about Chadwick Boseman until he passed. Like, you don't care about shit till it's gone. So it's really like, no, that's a fact. That's a fact.
It's not a fact.
That's a genuine. No, he was not in the spotlight by any means until that. So it's like, you don't appreciate something until you don't, like, unless it's like not in the magnitude.
Hey,
That's
no, to add on that thing that pissed me off with this meme I keep seeing is, I'm tired of men asking, can we cook? I'm sitting here like, Shawty, I don't need you to cook for me. I know how to do all that, but I'm asking this because I like seeing you do this, because you're showing me it's an appreciation value behind it. Just like I'm doing certain things for you, that's one of the reasons why I asked if you can cook. Like, the appreciation aspect for it, because if you see the person doing it for you actually take their time and do that, that's a very intimate thing. That's how I look at it. Food is intimate to me. I ain't gonna fake it. Food is very intimate to me. It's very, very near my heart. And if you don't take time to do that, it's just like, whatever. But going in on what you're saying, Marcus, about it being overrated, I'm just being honest, some people ain't got the time for it, so you can't really come down on people if they ain't got the time. Now, if they purposely do that all the time, then that becomes an issue. But standing from my experience, sometimes people ain't got the time to do it. So that's how I feel about it.
Caleb played devil's advocate.
Said, like, he was like,
what you want.
Yeah.
Say it again?
I said, well, Caleb played devil's advocate on that point already and said that you make time for the things that you want.
And if you ain't cooking that much, and then you make time to take your ass to Hardee's or Chick-fil-A or Chipotle and all these other places. Hush. No, all them.
No, you will not talk about my Chipotle. Marcus.
Chipotle's overrated.
Watch your mouth.
It's overrated.
You said greatness wrong, big dog.
I'm not listening. For me.
Thank you.
For me.
Situational, personal, for you.
Yes, situational. I don't check for Chipotle like that.
But when I'm in Kansas City, we go to Chipotle.
We go to Chipotle because you want to go to Chipotle. And most men care about what women eat because a lot of them don't know.
I'm not one of them women. I said I don't care.
You are a rarity. We understand that. But if you
said it, I know this. But
I'm just saying. So if you the average woman, if the average man asks an average woman what she wants to eat, she will return the question right back to you. Well, what do you want to eat?
I don't care.
I mean, I eat what you eat, babe. It ain't really nothing. That's
bullshit.
And I'll be sitting there
that's
like
bullshit. Because
so this is how I do it.
Men,
so I just break it up like this. All right, you want chicken or beef? Beef. All right, you want it sauteed or fried? Right? All right, cool. So this is the list of options that you have based on what you want.
It's too many questions.
Pick one.
I don't do that.
That's too many questions.
I literally, if I am asked, what do you want to eat? I say, I don't care. I will find something to eat anywhere.
Bro,
Yes,
it's too many questions dealing with that. I don't know what I want to eat. So you
I
gotta actually
know
fit
what I want to eat. Well, I know what I want to eat, and if you
Exactly.
don't, like it, then I'm sorry. But if I say that, I'm coming off inconsiderate and rude.
No, you ain't. You can get your own damn food, bitch.
Anybody who is watching this podcast on here, can y'all please leave in the comment section? How often are y'all cooking?
I personally don't cook very often because normally it's just me. So like I don't have a reason to really cook. Like I will make a bowl of cereal or put something in the air fryer really quick. But like if I have people over and I'm hosting and things, I will cook something.
That's kind of the times when I'm not cooking. But me personally, I prefer to cook for people. And the crazy thing is, like for example, when I make like dinner plates and sell them, I don't make food for me. I go pick something up from like local fast food. Everybody else is eating good except me.
Hey, because sometimes you get that. I hear you on that. Because sometimes you be so tired after cooking, you don't even want to cook for yourself, or you're tasting the food and you over the taste now because you didn't had it already.
I'm so sick of fucking shrimp right now. Like this shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He been making shrimp scampi for his dinner.
I've been making scampi for weeks. I'm so sick of scampi right now. I'm sick of shrimp. I'm sick of noodles. I'm sick of everything involved around shrimp
Caleb,
scampi.
you don't eat pasta, so you're out of this conversation.
I don't see why he eat burritos. The same damn thing as bread and meat.
No, he don't eat pasta of any kind.
Noodles and burrito wraps are two different things.
He
Please
don't
do
eat
not.
pasta at
It is
all.
bread. They're both made with flour, sir.
You would know, chef.
You're telling me that a burrito and a noodle taste the same. That's what you're telling me?
Not saying
they're
they
made
taste
with
the
the
same.
same.
The same is the taste can be altered by anything. Like all of a sudden you can take a tortilla and throw some cinnamon on it. It is a fucking dessert. You take some flour tortilla and then you put some other shit on it, and it's gonna be what that other shit is. It doesn't have to taste the same to be made with the same ingredients.
Between the flavor and the texture, I'm not a big fan of noodles or pasta in that general.
And the other Caleb don't eat eggs.
Who?
He don't eat eggs at all. Can't take
Eat
the
ice
smell
cream?
of them. Don't eat them. Nothing.
He eat cake. He just don't like regular.
He eats stuff where the stuff is baked into.
Okay.
But like breakfast, eggs, not happening.
If you can't appreciate if you cannot appreciate the versatility of egg, then you shouldn't have anything that involves with it.
But cake, he'll eat it. Bread, he'll eat it.
He don't deserve shit that's got made with eggs in it if you can't appreciate a good scrambled.
I got a side note. Who the fuck seen an egg and said, let's eat this shit?
That sounds like who first said, I'm going to jack off a cow and drink the milk.
I was just about to say the same person who chopped up a pig and said, you know what, give the intestines out.
Let's try to. That was a horny motherfucker. I'm going to jack this cow.
I don't get that, yo.
Well, you know where chitlins and pig feet and pig nose and pig ears and all that originated from. Those are just the leftover scraps that they had after they cooked for the master and his family. And that's just what they had to survive.
But they gave us the insides and then they gave us the worst parts. But at the end of the day, it's still a pig. You took the pig's ass and you called it ham. And then you ate
That remind me of Norbit when they had the turkey ass.
Oh
man, that turkey was thick. You feel me?
I had two perfectly round cheeks.
Oh, yams galore.
Shut up, Marcus.
Let me chop his ass.
That shit didn't make no sense.
Yo, this shit crazy.
So moving on. Caleb, this last one is you. If you're in a relationship and you don't think of the norms as bad, is it considered a toxic relationship? Please elaborate.
So I was thinking about this, and for example, it's if you spend. So for example, like spending a lot of money would be deemed as like bad, or like you might want to change your ways. But like in a relationship, if like all you do is all these date nights, or you give a whole bunch of gifts, and like you see that like you're spending a whole bunch of money, but you don't notice it. Or on the flips, or like another case is like the term relationship weight, but it's like if you gain so much weight but you don't notice it. Everybody talks about like, oh, he cheated, he cheated, but then but she stayed in the relationship. Or it's like he has like fuckboy tendencies, and it's like she stayed with him, oh, he's toxic, blah blah blah. But it's like there are so many other things that can rub off. Is that also considered a toxic relationship? Because if I told you, oh, gain weight for the fuck of it, you'd be like, no, that's unhealthy. But then if you got into a relationship and you had all these date nights and you start eating more and you gain more weight, you don't think about it as toxic. It's still bad for you. Or you spend so much money in a relationship, you don't think of it as bad. It's still taxing. I was wondering if you would count what's the threshold of like what do you consider a toxic relationship?
I think the parameters of toxicity. What's that?
Toxicity? Words are hard.
Toxicity.
Thank you. And get that shit to save my life. It depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a position right now where I'm recognizing toxic behavior. There's some things that are detrimental mentally to a certain person. So I think to answer your question, Caleb, I think it is situational. It's just like it's that knowing who that person is and how they want to be treated and what they accept, what they don't accept, what they allow, what they don't allow, and things of that nature. So I would say I think the most common toxic behavior is inconsistency. If you are inconsistent, you know what I'm saying, when you know what the person wants and how they want to be treated, and then you flip-flop, I think that kind of covers that aspect. But I think everything else is kind of tossed up.
Damon?
I think, yeah, I feel like it was, and that's and I know it's a very broad, because toxic relationship, that term just gets thrown around so much to where I barely know what it means anymore. But yeah, I was just going off like the standard term of toxic, something that like seeps in and like gives off characteristics to the next object, and then like I was just going off like that term specifically. But no, I was thinking that before, so I just didn't know what you consider a toxic relationship to be, especially if you don't catch it.
Damon?
I'm agreeing with everything they said. I just agree, you know. But personally, for me, it's like I know when I'm aware when I do things that are not supposed to be happening, and I kind of did it for tit for tat, because I'm like, bro, if that's not going on, then why am I doing it? So then it got to a point where I said, hey, bro, just fuck it, just do it, get over it, knock it out, make it less of a hassle. So it's part of just being mature now, because everybody can say the same thing, but it takes the person just say, I forget it, I'm just gonna do it and be over it. So I agree wholeheartedly with everything they were saying, but you know, I just gotta agree. Pussy.
See?
I hate to say I agree with Caleb, but I do.
Because like I just had to, my fault for cutting you off. I just had to look up the definition again. Toxic is, they literally just said poisonous, but it's like in a relationship, you rub off on the next person. So again, I think it is just chucking in the air like what you consider bad and what you consider not. Because like I said, it would be whack advice if I told you, oh, eat out as much as you want to, blow as much as you want to, and get fat or gain more weight. That would be whack as hell. But then like if it was to happen in a relationship and you didn't notice it because you were having fun, it's not, you don't see it on the bad side by any means, but would you still consider it toxic?
Like, oh shit, I done gained 20 pounds.
And that's one thing I can't never let happen to me. Like, regardless if I'm happy in this mug or not, I can't just let myself go and just gain all that weight. Because I was a fat ass before. I'm not gonna be a fat ass because I'm happy. No, if I notice something going on, I'm gonna change it. Like, I hate when people say, I gained this weight because I was happy in my relationship. I go, all right, cool. Did you notice it? Yeah, all right. So what did you do different? Or did you just stick with it? Or did you complain about it? Well, I complained about it, and this. I'm like, all right, so what did you do to change it? Nothing? Okay.
No, I'm not.
So this is a self-reevaluation thing. Like, after you can talk about it so long, but you know it's happening, and you know you gained this weight, do something about it, regardless. Because I ain't gonna be a little fat ass no more. I had to learn. There was a turning point in my life being that little kid, just fat and chubby. That's why I learned how to jog. And that's one thing that keeps me, because I'm just saying out loud, bro, if you're not willing to help them and take the help regardless, and just gonna keep talking about it, then just be like, hey, show it. Because sometimes you gotta shut your mouth up and show it. Just show it.
And that's
I'm back here now.
That's a wild thing because no cap, I've seen it flip where it's like, oh, he didn't accept me for who I was. Oh, we just have different thinking and you're trying to make me think your way. But like in reality, it's like it would be wild if I told you this information outside of like if I gave it to you outside of a relationship. I don't know. I've seen it both like going off what you're talking about. I've seen it on the flip side where it's like, oh, don't talk about my weight, and people get offensive, and then they be like, oh, he was mean to me, he was toxic. But like in reality, it's like I'm trying, like it's the complete opposite. I've seen it both sides, man. It's wild.
It's the delivery though. It's like you gain weight. You know what I'm saying?
It's the delivery. Yeah.
You can't be like, hey. You know you heavy, right?
Hey, Marcus, damn.
Hey, bro, like low key.
Wait a minute. Side note: have y'all ever seen my 600-pound life?
Hell yeah, it's a big motherfucker.
The one with the black family.
Okay, listen. It was this black family, and they were all big. Like the dude was like over 500.
Mm-hmm.
One of the girl, it was two girls and one guy. And one of the girls was like 6 something. And then the last one, she was 8'12". The dude looked at the camera and said, "Damn."
No.
It was so perfect. Then the girls got mad after they said, "Damn."
I said, really?
Caleb, I'm gonna find that clip and I'm gonna send it to you because that's some funny shit.
No, Marcus, going off of that.
Yo, I've watched that shit like 80 times, bro. Like, I love that video.
Hey, real talk. No, but going off what you said on how it's delivered, that's kind of why I just said, you know, it's hard to say stuff now, because one thing my uncle did when I was growing up and I was like really obese, he stopped saying, hey, you need to go work out. He would literally show up to my house, drop a dumbbell off, and walk off. And I let that dumbbell just sit there. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And then if he noticed I ain't do nothing with it, he'd drop another one off and walk off. I'm like, bro, why are you dropping all these dumbbells, bro? I'm not doing nothing. And then it got to a point where my cousin came over and fresh out of jail. Short as hell, abs, chiseled. He walked in on me and said, bro, why you eating? Why you eating this much? I said, because, you know, I don't know. I love it. And he said, okay. I'm not going to tell you to stop eating. I'm just going to ask you, come hang out and work out. That's it. those were my two ways of getting it delivered. But you know, I learned use less words and just show it. Just show it.
It's different for men though.
It is a lot different for men.
It is a
a lot
double
different.
standard. It is a double standard for us.
It is.
Because man, you can talk to us any other way because we're built like we're like brought up to be, you know what I'm saying, to not even show emotion. You know what I'm saying? So if another man is telling you, hey man, get your fat ass in the gym, you gonna be mad. But you really mad is like, man, fuck, I'm fat. Like you mad that you fat, but you like, fuck, I gotta work. And that's okay. You can't do that. Women are brought up to be delicate, which is why it's different.
Man,
It's crazy.
bro.
That's an approach for men. I think when men address women's weight, a lot of times they mean well, but it's wrong.
I'm not a fan of that at all because I put it like this. It's something that you need to hear, and I always say, I've said it a lot, where it's just like, do you care about the package or do you care about the box it came in? Which one do you?
It's not so much shooting the messenger. We acknowledge the message, but sometimes, like, when we're already feeling a way about it physically. Shut up.
Feeling. Fuck all the feelings. Do you want the message or not?
You're going to give the message regardless, but at the same time, we're already battling with it ourselves before you say anything.
See, Caleb, that's that toxic shit that you was talking about. You can't be over here telling people, women alone, you want to hear the message? You're fat. Like, no, nigga, it doesn't work like that.
You're gonna lose your fucking feeling, bro. Pack her shit. With Monica in the background, she gonna leave your ass.
I ain't gonna fake it. One of my past relationship, she asked me, "Hey, do I look fat to you?" And I was just like, "You know what? You wear this well.
You lie.
I'm here just like, hey man, I appreciate the hell out of you real quick. Hey, you want to go and want to just go out and have fun?
I appreciate you.
Appreciate the fuck out of you, baby. You want to go out and have fun? I don't even say shit about working out. Hey, you want to go out and have fun and throw some shit at each other, water balloons and some shit? I appreciate the fuck out of you.
And then end up at Gold's Gym on accident.
Say, yeah, babe, you really can't. So I learned to just go, hey, I appreciate the fuck out of you. Hey, let's go have some fun and throw shit.
So throwing shit, is that your way of having her work out? Are those arm workouts that you doing? Throwing shit?
You ain't pick up and throw it. See how far you can tuck that
That's
shit.
fucked up, dude.
Throw it. You was that angry. So you don't think I'm fat? No, baby, I don't think that at all. I love the fuck out of you. Hey, you pissed off? Yeah. Hey, let's go throw this real quick. Just use that.
That is fucked up. He was like, no, you ain't fat. You just got 3 more sets of you throwing shit.
You see what I'm dealing with? Marcus and Caleb, you see what I'm dealing with?
And then you ask the question, so how did that make you feel? I felt good. All right, cool.
No, nigga, I'm tired. The fuck? I'm tired.
Oh man, that's crazy. Let's go run some hills real quick.
Hey, you want to go outside and throw some shit? I don't know what you want to throw. Throw this rock.
That's a topic too. Like, what qualifies as a date? What is date? Like, what is date night mean? Like, to men, because I know with women, we have a lens that date night's supposed to look a certain way.
Well, according to DJ, is working on the railroad. All right.
Please.
Fucking and shit.
I say this.
According to DJ, you supposed to be on your John Henry shit.
Because you can't sit here and say, yeah, babe, you gained a few pounds around, I ain't gonna say stop eating, but no, I just go, I love the fuck out of you and I appreciate you. Let's go throw some bullshit, man. Let's go do this.
Throw some bullshit. All right.
Hey, baby, you want to
what I consider date night is depending on the parameters is any activity outside the house. Quality time, you know what I'm saying, a time where we can talk about different shit than the norm. Shit that has nothing to do with the job. It has everything to do with the person. Everything is it's just quality time away from the familiar four walls.
Okay. Caleb?
No, that's exactly what it is. It's getting out of your environment to go enjoy some quality time with somebody else. Exactly what date night is.
Damon?
And man, I saw this one day where old girl was throwing the axe. She was throwing some shit. That was a day he fed her. She threw some shit and they went home. That was a whole ass day. Axe
Who
throwing.
answered the question, sir?
Marcus really said it. She threw. Bro, I saw it on Facebook, bro. She threw the fuck out of that axe. He turned around, gave her something to eat, and they went home and just got drunk.
So I'm assuming that's what you think date night is to you.
Marcus already explained it. Get outside the norm. I ain't never threw an axe before. Feed the motherfucker. Enjoy the company of the time. That was the idea of the date night. Or going on some dates where the person is interested in and spending that time. You know? But
do you see what I'm dealing with here?
Well, no,
old girl on Facebook wanted to throw some shit, so she threw some shit.
I've been axe throwing. It's fun as shit.
I'm supposed to go on Saturday with my family. It's what's supposed to happen.
That is hilarious.
Because my grandma is turning 65, and my uncle wants to take my grandma to do something she's never done, which is go to the axe throwing place. And obviously, I've never done that either. I don't think my 65-year-old grandma's gonna do that shit.
How frail is your grandma?
You've seen my grandma Jane.
Bro, she could throw a butter knife.
She could throw an axe though.
My grandma built like a country girl. She.
Oh, she throwing axes. I guarantee that. She hitting bullseyes too.
We gonna try. We gonna buy her some Heineken and see how it works.
Oh man, you about to be lit.
That's her shit. Heineken's.
I never had Heineken. I might try that.
I would think, to me, date night is exactly what y'all are saying as far as spending time outside of the house, you know, trying something new. On a side note, most times girls get cute for date night. So don't put us in a fucking situation where we have to be athletic and cute shit. That don't work. That's if your idea is paintball, baby, you do not gotta get super cute. You can throw on some sweats and a t-shirt. You might get a little dirty. I don't want to give it away, but we might get a little dirty. Cool. We know we're getting prepared for it. But motherfucker, I don't want to have on a goddamn skin tight dress and heels and you talking about we going to go hoop. I'm gonna kick your ass and you go hoop by yourself.
Hooping at date night.
That sounds like a move. No, if you hoop at midnight with your significant A, it is a move. Do not knock it. I promise you.
It's not a
What if you love fucking basketball? I shoot you strip. What the fuck?
How is it not a?
It's not that.
How you gonna say quality time outside of the house, and then when I say quality time outside the house, now it's not a date?
It said quality time away from the familiar four walls. How often are you going to the gym?
How often are you playing basketball?
Not that often. Familiar, bro. Outdoor gyms, new gyms, indoor rec centers. Like, it's the quality time. I could have sworn.
How many women you know?
Say it again.
How many women you know hooping?
They gonna learn today.
How many women you know hooping? Talking about they gonna learn today. There is no learning with us. If we're doing something that we enjoy doing and we have to teach somebody, we're gonna spend more time showing off what we can do, let alone than teaching them what they're supposed to do.
That's the whole point of a day. All right, I'll put it like this. You would do the same. No, hear me out. You would do the same thing with mini golf. Oh, I don't know how to do. You would do the same thing shooting pool. You show them how to. That's the whole point. So if we're gonna don't do it for some sports and not for others. And mini golf is the same thing, but y'all It's not the same.
The word that you're missing, Caleb, is he said the male shows off what he's already able to do. Not we joint interest learning something new or experiencing something new with your partner. You're already
you, Caleb.
That's like teaching me how to play fucking 2K and you on the fucking hardest setting and I'm on rookie. Like,
knowing you, Caleb, you looking to dunk on people and snatching ankles, your girl gonna have the worst time ever. You trying to make her fall on her face and your nuts in her face when you dunk on her. You give off disrespectful basketball vibes.
Yeah. Hey, I'll put it like this: if quality time for her, I'll put it like this, because the relationship is give and take. If quality time is me following her around the store while she shops, knowing that I can't buy a damn thing in there, then quality time can be flipped and it's, let me take you on an adventure that I enjoy, and I hope that you find the same joy in it. If you can't call it like that and there's no sacrifice, then there's no relationship. Because why would you want a relationship with me who can't enjoy the shit that I also enjoy with me? At least with me. Not on your own, but at least with me.
Well, using that logic,
doing it on both sides.
I said it was on both sides.
Because a lot of men want women that will participate in all this stuff, but when it comes on the flip side and women want to do certain activities or have certain interests, oh, that's gay. I don't want to do that shit. I got stuff to do. That's a waste of time, whatever else.
I can only speak on myself.
That if that is the case.
What the fuck that's gay?
No, dudes say that shit. Like
they do say that shit.
I be sitting there like, why the fuck dudes say that? Like, oh, that's what?
Because it's not seen as masculine. Because of the women.
How can you say something's gay with your girlfriend? I've never heard some shit like that.
Me either. I'm like,
that sounds fucking absurd.
I'm just telling you from stuff that I've witnessed or experienced in my own relationships.
And on the activity, I mean, yeah, I can see how.
What are gay activities?
Like some men think getting a pedicure is gay.
That's hell.
I think that shit's gay.
I'm talking like bikini waxes and shit. Yeah, there's some dudes that do that. See that face right there? Yeah, that's gay, ain't it?
No, not saying it's gay. It's just no, it's not gay. It's not gay. That's unfamiliar. I don't know. What do I need a bikini wax for? That's unfamiliar. I'm not saying it's gay.
There are activities out there that are exclusive to women that men participate in, or that most men won't participate in because they're exclusive for women. Then
to use your example, then what do I need a bikini wax for? Please explain this to me.
Hold on. Pause.
See? Look at that. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Because some men, not saying y'all, but a lot of men out here will not fuck with a chick if she is not trim low or waxed. And motherfuckers walking around with the burning bush in they shit. If you were to experience the same experience that I go through as your requirement, then why the fuck do I have to do it?
Any y'all shaving? No homo?
I'd show you, but you see like the way the podcast works?
Now that's gay.
You asked the question? Did you ask the question?
What the fuck do I need a visual for? I need an answer. I don't need visual.
Did you ask the question or not?
Do you shave?
I didn't say do you shave. I was like, I can show you. I don't want you to show me. I believe you show me the answer.
You asked the question, I gave the answer. Okay, my doctor gay because he checks me out? No.
This is medical.
So again, when you use an excuse, when you use an excuse, it's cool.
It ain't gay.
So you use an excuse, it's cool. But
so you pretty much tell me a random dude can walk up to you and go, "Hey, show me your dick." That's gay. Hold on. You go to the store.
Y'all let y'all football coaches and basketball coaches and smack your ass, and that shit's gay. Shut up.
Wait, say it again.
You talking about me?
No, Taylor, what you say? I didn't hear you.
I said, y'all the same motherfuckers that let your football coach, your basketball coach, your soccer coach, your teammates smack your ass on the damn basketball and football and soccer fields and shit. Good
I don't know the last
thing there. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that?
I don't know the last game that you've been to, but that doesn't happen. I haven't had my ass smacked. No, I haven't had my ass smacked. It's been a minute since. No, it doesn't happen. No, it doesn't happen.
Now,
You might see
when
that in the movies.
No.
Now, when that happened to me doing football, I'd be like, all right, cool. But then when mugs start doing excessive shit with it, good game. And look at you, I'm like, all right, bro, chill the hell out, bro. This is way too far. Like, you gotta be strong in your own sexuality, your masculinity. Like, because I be looking at folks and they hear, if a girl smack you on your ass, that's gay. What? That's your woman. She's not on your ass. That's not gay.
Oh, I grab cheeks, fam. I don't give a fuck.
Now the thing is, if you're doing gay things that constitute as gay, like this is why I say the thing people like, all right, this shit gay. The first thing I say to my mind is like, and I ask them, well, was it dick in your mouth when this happened? Because that's gay. Was it dick in your ass when this happened? Now that's gay. So you're telling me just getting your fingernails done and manicured and all that shit, that's gay? But there was no dick in your ass in your mouth, so how is this gay? You wipe your ass, that's gay. So you wipe your ass, it's gay now?
So
Yeah,
you saying that
too.
So you saying the dick gotta be in your mouth or your ass in order for it to be gay?
Bruh, that's what gay shit is.
So are you holding another man's penis?
No, because
is that gay?
I hold my own.
No,
I don't need to hold his. I'm
asking here because like the
parameters. I hold another man's penis. I don't have one.
Hey, DJ, talk to the woman, bro.
I'm sitting here just like I'm listening. Cause when somebody say this shit, I say to somebody, I say, hey bro, so if you want to take it that route, how old are you? And they be like, I'm 32. All right, so you've been jacking the same dick off for 32 years. Does that seem kind of gay to you? Which, no, it ain't gay because it's different. It's mine. I'm like, wait, it's a dick though. Okay then. So my thing is, what constitutes when people be like, this is gay? I go to, well, are you indulging in sexual gay activities when this happens? So how is this gay? Does that make you feel gay? Are you gay? Are you scared to be gay? What is it? But no, I'm not gonna sit here and say, all right, man, women do this all the time. I can't do it. Bro, I done seen women play football. They ain't gay. They got a whole lingerie league and a regular league. Okay, now some of them may be,
Now, some of them may be gay. Some of them may be gay. Yes.
But, still. But I just dislike it when people are like, hey, bro, that shit kind of gay. And I look at them and go, was you fucking a dick when this happened? How is this gay?
It was the times have changed because there was a lot of things that we see that are far-fetched now that it wasn't like that at first. Like, for instance, there was a point in time where men wasn't wearing pink because pink was considered a female color. And then all of a sudden, Cameron came out with like the pink shit. See niggas in pink tees. I was victim of it. I've had pink and white hats. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, shit, I got pink tatted on me right now. It's just like I wear pink all the time. It's not, you know what I'm saying? There's just certain things at a certain point in time that certain things was considered gay for men. It's just
and then the thing is, I go to ask those people that live like that. I go, do you like that? Do you like the opposites of being gay or something? Because this is something that my uncles has taught me while growing up. I was able and blessed to have this notion and just be like, hey, look, if you want to do something and it's seen that other people are doing it, that is like selective to that gender, but it's not constituting any type of way of sexual things and being then, bro, don't look at it as being gay. Now, if this person is partaking in gay activities, now they're gay. But that's like saying, like I said before, wiping your own ass, or color, or this, or that. Like, you gotta grow up. Like, cause then you live in fear, cause now I'm gonna start questioning, you gay? Cause everything comes out of your mouth is gay. So are you gay? Or is this your way of telling us? I'm like, nah, bro, be mature about these situations. Because you can't just go around saying everything's gay, everything's gay, everything's gay, because now you got to deal with a whole nother group of people who are going to look at it as offensive now. And you got to deal with that too. So it's just like either you're going to be mature about this or you just going to live in your own fear of not knowing who you are.
But to get back what I was saying, if men are requiring or asking women to partake in their interests, even though that's no interest of the woman, men should also make sure they're reciprocating and doing those things on the flip side. Because if not, you're going to start having issues. So where a woman is always feeling like she's always doing what the man is doing, but the man is not doing what the woman would like him. Well, like she would like her man to do. It's an excuse, or oh, that's gay, or I don't want to, or I have things to do. It magically comes up with something more convenient to do, or less convenient, or not existent at all. So moving on from that, Marcus, we're gonna go ahead and do your underrated thought, and then we're gonna talk your shit, and then we're gonna wrap up.
All right. With that ending was kind of a great transition to my thought. So I'm gonna name this one quality time. Now, in relationships, some of us tend to lose ourselves in the relationship itself. We kind of conform into this generic person that we're supposed to be. Like, as soon as you hop into a relationship, you necessarily don't become you don't become yourself. You become a title, and you become what this person is supposed to be, and abide by the rule of the title, and not necessarily the relationship. Which is why I feel like quality time with your significant other and without your significant other is real important. And just in life in general, get away from, take vacations from your job to keep your sanity. You know what I'm saying? Take breaks from your significant other so you can acknowledge who you are as a person, and not necessarily a person who you feel you're supposed to be in this relationship. At the end of the day, two people became one couple, and your uniqueness is important. Who you are as a person matters, and you shouldn't lose yourself in any aspect of life just because of a certain title. It was you who got that job. It was what you brought to the table, as well as what is at the table already. You in the relationship, she is attracted to you. She is not attracted who you may become. It was your uniqueness that made you who you are. Don't lose that.
Let me unmute myself. It's a good point, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to add to the underrated thought?
He hit them around the head. You gotta respect people's time of solitude.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta respect it, especially dealing with, you don't know why that person does solitude that will go into those things. You don't know why that person likes being alone at times. It doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to be around you because I don't want to. It means like this is my coping skill to handle things that I've been through. Because you ain't always around me when I'm going through some shit. So if I know this is what I need to do in order to be better and it's work, allow that. You don't get mad. Or if you can't just be around it, just go, all right, I support you, even if you need something. But just like you said, don't be upset because somebody likes their time to themselves. You should be grateful for that because nobody wants to be up under people all damn day because it's a lot of things that go into that aspect. So, yeah, Marcus, I hear you on that.
And if I may add, Marcus, again, beautiful point. Only thing I got to say to that is it takes strength to do that. Losing yourself in a relationship or job or any walk is very hard, and stepping away from that might be. It just takes a lot of strength, but it doesn't. I'm not gonna say that those relationships or anything is a dime a dozen, but you're more rare than the opportunity or the thing that you're going through. So yeah, if you have the strength to do it, I'd rather you pull out than lose yourself in something. I hate you, DJ. I fucking hate you. I hate you, bro.
Hey.
I said
I fucking hate you.
I'm gonna take this out.
I fucking hate you, bro.
I'm gonna take me out.
Got a blast.
To the Talk Your Shit segment. Any last minute things that did not make the original lineup that you guys would like to talk about?
I still don't like cheese.
Excuse me?
I don't like cheese. Fucking hate it.
You don't like
Yeah,
what?
he chipped.
You don't
I
like
don't like
cheese.
Fucking hate it.
He don't eat cheese on pizza.
You don't like cheese?
Cheese. Like mouse cheese?
Yeah, I said cheese. That's what I said. You don't like cheese?
Huh?
But I just had a grilled cheese when we started this podcast. Are you crazy?
That's you. Me?
I just said he don't eat cheese on pizza.
You.
He literally
You like
the crust with sauce and toppings and no cheese.
Oh, you like acne face pizza?
No, I just like veggie pizza with no cheese.
No, he just like the acne. He don't even do like the regular skin. He just like the acne.
You know?
Well, you was that kid that took all the cheese out of that school pizza and you just ate that nasty, saucy bread.
I did. That was me. And I ate that bitch. And I looked at people looking at me just like, you weird. I'm like, so? You can't beat my ass.
Hey, for everybody else in this podcast, I'm gonna say respect DJ. You tripping? Cheesecake related night.
Bro, that's some fat ass shit, bro. That's some fat shit. I'm gonna take me a cake and I'm gonna take some cheese and put together. That's some fat ass shit. No, that shit not work. Fat ass shit. I like this cheese and cake. You know what? That's some fat shit. That is some really fat shit. You know,
see, but that's the thing, though. That's what I was saying earlier about the pasta and the damn tortilla. If you whatever, just like it is. You said it's cheese, but it's the taste, man. Is what you make it.
No, fuck that. Cause when you was talking about that, it took me back to Taco Bell, bro. Taco Bell's the same shit but different shapes. Really is.
That's all Mexican food.
No,
it's the same shit but different shapes. I'll be looking at it like,
wait, Marcus, did you just say that Taco Bell was Mexican food?
No, I said that is Mexican food in general. It's all the same ingredients. Name something that is different in Mexican food.
I've never seen. Every time I go to a Mexican spot, they don't put cheese on those tacos.
They sure don't.
But they put cheese on every other taco at Taco Bell.
We're not talking about.
I've never seen.
We're talking about food. Like I'm talking about real food. I was just like it's all the same thing. We know that DJ don't like cheese. I'm saying, yeah, we're talking about Mexican food in general. It is the same ingredients. It is literally the same thing. Enchiladas, burritos, taquito, all that shit. There's meat and there's tortilla and sauce.
Meat, cheese, tomato, lettuce, bread. That could be a burrito. That could be a burger. So I see what you're talking about.
Like real shit. Like somebody got bored of eating a regular taco and said, "I'm gonna turn this bitch to a circle and make it a pizza taco." What? It's the same
Mexican pizza.
Your Mexican pizza. Like I'm tired of eating it out of taco form. I'm gonna put it in a pizza form. Like it's the same shit, like you saying, Marcus. But no, I just don't like cheese, bro.
It's circles.
This motherfucker is a circle. You took a half sphere and turned that bitch to a full sphere because you got tired of the shape. Okay.
I'm mad.
Are you high right now, DJ?
You would think.
No. This is my mind.
He
really
that cigar must be laced. Is your cigar laced?
And then they said, hold on, I'm going to take this taco, but I'm going to make it to triangles and call that bitch nachos.
Yo,
You get bored, motherfuckers, just to come up with this shit, bro.
hilarious. So the taco is the blueprint.
The taco is the blueprint for all this shit. Somebody said it hurts my teeth. I'm making salt.
Oh, that is funny. Oh, that's funny.
Bruh. It happens, bro. It happens.
He said, he's talking your shit. I don't like cheese.
And we've been like, what, 5-10 minutes talking about cheese?
Hey, but I respect it though. I mean,
Bro, Marcus, we started with cheese and we ended on nachos are the originator. Like, I fucking hate this.
that is hilarious.
Y'all seen that The Rock and his family all have COVID?
Really?
Tyler Perry's a billionaire.
True.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The boulder.
Wait a minute, you said The Rock has
The
COVID
Rock, his
and
wife
his
and his
family?
two daughters have COVID.
Everybody in that household, yeah.
The boulder is a
Who had it first though?
And Carol Baskin, Nelly, and this one other person's going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Carol Baskins? You know she gonna win because she gonna threaten the panel.
Killed her husband, whacked him. Oh, Lord Jesus, that's funny.
The boulder.
Niecy Nash married a woman.
Say it again.
Niecy Nash married the woman that sang at her wedding with her
Yeah,
husband.
that shit was fucked up and hilarious at the
She
same
got
time.
a divorce from her husband last year, and the same woman that sung at her and her husband's wedding, she got married to a couple days ago.
Yeah, I said shit.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I said, Jesus, that means y'all was having conversations during the pride.
That is. Like, I think they're like pictures of like, Chris Humphries and like Kim Kardashian, then like a seat down is like Kanye West. Like, bro, it'd be your own people, man. It'd be your own fucking people, man.
Would that bother you if the woman you're dating, the woman you get married to, things don't work out, y'all chalk it up as unreconcilable differences, and you turn around and you find out the same motherfucker they told you not to worry about is the person they get married to?
Yeah, that
It brings up insecurities.
I've seen Taylor. I've seen it happen.
Man,
Bruh.
I've seen it happen.
So Caleb, don't do that. You said it brings up insecurities, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean it can because it can raise the question. It's just like, man, how long you been feeling this way about her? Especially if women are known to be well calculated in their decision making. And all of a sudden it's just like while you at the wedding, you get like, I can see a relationship with that person. At the wedding? Or before the wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? Like, yo, I'd be highly offended.
I'm like, what the fuck was I even there for?
I definitely, honestly, would feel some type of way. Because even, I can say from personal experience, it does kind of fuck with you. Marcus, I agree with the whole insecurity thing. But so we've definitely had this conversation about that. And it sucks because it's just like what DJ said, what the fuck was I even here for if that's the person you really wanted to be with?
But at the same time, it can be like, it's not who they wanted to be with because they married you. So you start questioning shit, but it just brings up more questions.
No, when that shit happens, my mind goes like this. Okay, cool, we married, but we get done, nothing happens. Turn around, date the motherfucker that was at our wedding. So, meaning when this fire was off, you got two problems. That motherfucker was plotting, or that motherfucker was doing devious shit while y'all was doing, and the motherfuckers didn't have the guts and balls to move out the shit and just waited for the safety to just say, all right, this ain't working. Hey, I'ma fuck with you. It's a whole lot that goes on with that.
It's a lot. That's crazy.
Ain't no this was the better choice, because one, it takes time to develop that better choice. So you're telling me you had this whole time to develop this better choice while saying I do? This shit just wasn't off the rip.
I don't know about that one, but I want to say, go ahead, Caleb.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's just given circumstance. You really do have to chuck it up to like, shit just wasn't that, like, shit just isn't like that by any means. I mean, if you really want to look at like for example, we can bring up Will and Jada again, where it's like August wasn't plotting, and I'm not gonna bring up the whole concept of like Jada or anything. It was just like when Jada and Bill had their internal split, she looked somewhere else. It just so happens that it was literally that close at home. Of course, there probably could be like in some scenarios like some slick shit, but it really does. You probably could just check it up to like there were differences. You moved somebody else that didn't share those differences. It just hurts a little bit more when it's like the two dudes or the two girls were that fucking close. Stings a little bit more, but you could just chuck it up to that.
I want to say prayers to the Rock and his family, and I hope they all make it out of that. That is highly unfortunate, man. And man, this COVID shit is really ruining, you know what I'm saying, our lives, not just this year. You feel me? So much prayers to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to this particular podcast. It's not 50 million people on here this week, Caleb, so it's a little more organized.
Thank God, man. They got to chime in on the comments. I couldn't talk.
DJ, you got any thoughts other than the fact that you don't like cheese?
No, man, everybody, take pride in your endeavors and do what y'all want to do, especially if you achieve, and, be safe.
Marcus?
Trump.
Straight up. Make sure everybody go out and vote. So I'm going to say at the end of every podcast, November 3rd is a very important part for us to do our part. Make sure this motherfucker don't get back into another 4 years of presidency.
Hopefully it matters.
That's another good question. Well, no, we've already touched on that.
What?
We've already touched on it. Just in regards to like, what has he done to make you feel like that personally?
Who, Trump?
Yes.
Do you see our economy? Do you see our interactions with other countries that we previously had as allies? All this motherfucker did was give us a stimulus check and a headache. Please don't.
Yeah, his presence is uprooting old racism tactics.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't respect that whatsoever.
The fact that he endorsed the shit that Kyle Rittenhouse boy did, where he shot those two people, he pretty much excused his behavior and chucked it up as okay. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You're the epitome of everything that this hatred has evolved into as of now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been more racial divide in his presidency than it has been in a very long time.
Is it really racial divide or is it just visual?
It's more visual with his presence, which is why I don't particularly fuck with Trump.
No, it wasn't do you fuck with Trump? It's just that I just always see so much hatred revolving somebody that hasn't done anything to you. That's why I always question people that really don't like Trump or really do champion Barack Obama. That was just always a question that I like to spark, because a lot of the times it really is like race relations this, how ignorant he is, that, and all this other things where it's like you honestly don't feel. I don't know if that's me being ignorant, but like a lot of the things, if not almost everything, is like it's shit that I don't feel.
I
That's
feel
the
you.
only reason why I ask.
I understand that. I do.
Still fuck Donald Trump.
It's still fuck Donald
Oh
Trump.
no, not taking away from that, by
Death row. It's still Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump with a sandpaper condom in the middle of Jim Pop of death row.
I'm just saying that in regards to like, if you want to think of it, for example, you say fuck yous for like a friend that does you absolutely dirty or a boyfriend who completely fucks you over. But Trump has, I'm not going to say hasn't impacted you, but you really don't see his or feel his impact as a regular citizen. But he still does, but he still gets the same fuck you. I don't know if that's the magnitude of how crazy he is or if that's just how sensitive that we are, but I always love to ask, what has Trump done to you personally?
That's like
And I really
asking
get
German people, what did Hitler do to them?
I'd say
in this day and age,
If you're talking about like the impact of someone that doesn't directly have an impact on you, but does influence your way of life in a way,
I'll say this:
essence too.
with the presence of visual racism, like it hasn't been this visual since I want to say the civil rights movement. Like when we are constantly seeing police killings, police killing like our black youth and just black people in general, you know, the KKK protesting and all this other shit. It's just with that. And then it's just like, I feel for the people who I can identify with. And I hate fucking group chats. And with that presence and him allowing this and him supposed to be a leader, and I feel for the families who look like my family. And I'd have the same feeling if it did happen to me directly. Like if anything, like I'm not as close to Caleb or DJ as I am to Taylor, but the same thing, if anything were to happen to you guys and it was based off of racism and it was felt like that racism which Trump, you know, outwardly supports due to his actions and it has been throughout the years, I would feel the same as you guys as I would my family. So that's why it's fuck Trump for me. And he gets the exact same fuck you as somebody who do me dirty.
just a question.
Yeah.
But no, I understand.
All right. Well, no other thoughts. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's another episode of Black Afterthoughts. Ooh, that was hard. I'm Taylor.
Marcus.
Caleb.
What's up with?
And we're out.